Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
I'm good. How are
Yeah,
you?
good.
Yeah.
My name is Jitske.
I'm Radu.
Radu, and you're a student here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I study games at Breda University of Applied Sciences.
Cool. I work at student office and I help students with all practical matters. And today we'll be doing a Q&A and we'll be answering all the questions you need to know before coming to Breda for your study program. So let's start with the first question.
Yep. So, moving to another country is quite exciting. Where could I find a list of everything that I need to arrange?
Yeah, that's a very good question because students coming to a new country need a lot of new information, and you probably already know because you're one of them. You're an international student first year, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, and there is the pre-study portal where students can find all the information they need before coming to Breda. So they can find information about their study program, but also there is a tile for international students specifically where they can find information about housing, for example, insurance, visa, and so on.
All the necessary information.
I think you already read that information before coming here, didn't you?
Yep, I did.
Was it useful for you?
Very useful. I mean, most of the questions that I had were actually answered by the information there. So I think it's a really good source of information because it's accessible at any time and it's instant. You can just check it yourself. You don't have to wait for an answer from someone.
Mm-hmm. And I believe there's also a tile about your application progress. So you exactly know at which stage you are and what you still need to do to complete your application.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next question.
Yep.
And it's a question for you. How did you find housing in Breda? And was it hard for you or easy?
Well, it's quite an interesting topic. Housing in Breda is pretty busy because it's a pretty busy city, but it's definitely doable. There are a bunch of websites that you can just check out. On the Breda University of Applied Sciences website, you can find a list of about 20 websites that you can just check out. About half of them are free. You don't even need to pay for an account. And you can just basically react to different properties that you like. You just register a normal account, you put in your name, email address, all that basic information, and it's quite easy. It's just very busy. You have to be active and react to multiple properties every single day. As for the paid websites, they have, in general, a higher chance of finding you a certain property, but they're still all the same houses that you usually just find on multiple websites.
Yeah.
And
did you find it hard? And did you do it by yourself, or did you receive any help from student office?
I didn't receive any help from the student office, but I had already made a couple of friends here who were here for me. And through some friends, I found that a fourth-year student was leaving soon because of his internship. And he had his room available from now on for an indefinite period because he was just leaving. Mm-hmm. And I just got in contact with him. I asked him a couple of basic details about the room and he just gave me the number of the landlord. I just messaged the landlord and I scheduled a viewing for the room. And since I wasn't here, I got some friends to do it for me. And within about 2 days, I got the room.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yep.
Because I work in the housing department, so I think I can answer the question as well, because I know some students also struggle a bit, and that's why we have the Housing Buddy. I think you heard of it. Yep. The Housing Buddy starts in June and works at the university until October, and she or he is helping students with any questions they have about housing, sometimes even do viewings. I think that's very helpful because your friends also did a viewing for you, and sometimes the students is not in Breda already.
And room viewings are necessary, especially like they really do boost your chance of getting a room. Yeah,
and you also mentioned the housing manual where you found the list. That's also very helpful for students. It's like the kickstart in your room search in Breda.
And not only just for housing, it's a really good guide in general for getting your life started here.
Yeah.
So is this Housing Buddy program also for non-EU students or is it exclusive to EU students?
No, the Housing Buddy helps everyone, but Breda University of Applied Sciences also has housing available. We don't have on-campus housing, but we have contracts with housing corporations in Breda. So for example, for non-EU students, we're able to offer every student a room. And they can book it via the website that is sent to them by email a few months before they start their program. And we often have rooms left, so we also offer them to EU students. And the other students use the housing manual, look at the different Facebook pages and all the different websites mentioned in the manual. Next question. A question for you. Is the Netherlands an expensive country?
In my opinion, it's not necessarily an expensive country, but you just have a lot of variety and you can choose if you want to live an expensive life or not. And in my opinion, this is a really good thing to have. In terms of food, you have a really good variety of different stores that you can choose from. You can go for the convenience factor, which is basically just Albertine, or you can go to Lidl and have all the products that you are most likely familiar with. And the prices, if you're just chasing the different discounts which happen every single week, then in my opinion, it's not at all expensive.
Do you have a side job to
no, I don't at the moment have the time to fit in a part-time job, but I do have a lot of friends who do, and they work part-time jobs in the weekends, and they do manage to fit in both school and their job and their personal lives, of course. Yeah.
So you mentioned that your friends have a job in Breda. Was it easy for them to find a job, and what did they do?
It's not easy nor hard, I would say. It's you just have to apply to any position that you would like to work in. Especially for internationals, it's mostly the food service, basically in the kitchen for international food chains such as KFC or McDonald's. It's rather easy to get in, but it just depends on their availability and how much they are interested in hiring new people.
So that's what your friends do, but you just mentioned that you don't have a job, but I think you sitting here is also kind of your job. Maybe you can explain to the students what you do for BUAS.
Yes, so I'm a student ambassador, and I applied because they mentioned on their website that they were hiring new student ambassadors, and actually a friend of mine recommended me I apply. It is a normal job, and you just take care of most responsibilities like social media, organizing events, Q&As like this one, and it's really fun.
Yeah, so I guess new students can also apply when they're looking for new ambassadors. I guess they do that every year?
Yep, indeed. Yep.
Awesome.
They can also apply, and there's an interview procedure that you just have to be prepared and show excitement, basically.
And there is also an option for, of course, Dutch, but also for EU and EEA students to apply for a DUO grant. There are some conditions, but students can also apply for that. And all the information is on the website duo.nl. Maybe it's nice to mention some prices for the students, because I can tell a student room is about 400 to 500 euros.
Yep.
What is a beer? What does it cost?
On average, I would say it's about 250 euros.
Okay.
So that's good.
And normally with the beer you have bitterballen, right?
Yep.
That's what you eat next to it.
Yep.
That's like 5 euros to 6 euros.
Yeah, it's not expensive at all. It's really doable.
What about bread?
What's a bread?
It's like 2 euros for a whole loaf.
For a whole loaf, yeah. Which is also pretty accessible.
And do you go out to restaurants often with friends? Because I know they have some really cheap ones for students and they're really nice as well.
Yeah. I don't really find the time to do that. I just work on school, and usually I just go over to a friend's place or have them over to mine.
Yeah.
And just play some games. And we don't. I mean, we usually just cook food for ourselves or just order.
Yeah.
It's cheaper and it's more fun, to be honest.
And probably more healthy.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you able to find all your foods from back home in the Netherlands as well?
Oh, definitely, yeah. There are a bunch of Romanian supermarkets where you can pretty much find every single product that you would find back home.
Yeah.
And they're also really accessible in terms of pricing.
Okay. And I love the Asian supermarkets here in Breda as well.
Oh yeah,
they're great.
Oh yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of them scattered around the city.
Yeah.
And they're also accessible.
Cool. Thanks. On to the next question. And again, a question for you. What can I do to settle in as quickly as possible and avoid feeling lonely?
Well, this might sound counterintuitive, but I would actually say reach out to people. Try to find either students who are already here in their first or second year, since they're going to be the closest ones to you. Or if you really feel lost, either go online and search for group chats or Discord servers. And if you cannot find those, just reach out on the BUAS website to a student ambassador. You can just chat live to them and ask them, hey, where can I find some people to talk to? And they will most definitely point you in the right direction.
Yeah, and I think students always have the option to also talk to a student counselor.
Oh yes.
If you feel lonely or you need just any help.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and was the introduction helpful as well to find, I don't know, fellow classmates or make new friends?
Definitely, yeah. The introduction week was very useful because that was actually the first time when I saw most of my classmates in person. And it was really nice. All the activities were really fun and we did get closer to each other.
Have you also heard about ESN, the Erasmus Student Network?
Yes, I have indeed. I have a couple of friends who do work with them, but I personally don't work with them.
Because they offer like buddies at the beginning of your study program in the first year. They offer help to students find their way around in Breda. They're always available at the introduction as well. They do like a city tour. And during the year, they offer so much fun parties and also trips to other countries. So you might want to join them in the future.
Oh yes, nice.
Yes, I think we got that covered.
Yep.
On to the next question. Again, a question for you. What was your biggest worry or fear when you moved to the Netherlands, to Breda?
I would say that it was not getting integrated in the society and not having anyone to hang out with. I would have imagined myself just sitting in my room and wasting time. But thankfully the introduction week helped with that. I just made a lot of friends and we started hanging out. And yeah, we just got to know each other closer as friends, which does actually help us in our work lives at school.
Yeah, and you're not the only student coming to Breda alone. There's so many Dutch and international students coming to Breda each year, so you're never alone.
Yeah, everyone is in the same situation. Everyone just wants to meet their classmates and make friends. So I would really say don't be afraid and don't hold anything back.
Yeah.
So could you tell me more about the international kickoff versus the study-specific introduction? What's the difference exactly and what happens there?
Good question. So the introduction for your study program is really focused on your study program, and you will meet your fellow classmates, probably meet your professors, teachers, and I think you get your schedule at that time as well.
Yes.
And then there is the international kickoff, where we as student offers are involved, and we will help you with all the practical matters, inform you about living in the Netherlands, finding housing if you have not done so yet, how to register at the municipality, money matters, because that's also an important part of your stay in Breda, how you register for a family doctor, the dentist, for example, so all the information you need to know when you live in Breda, basically.
Nice.
And that's a 2-day event. ESN is also available there for questions. Also very important, the sports facilities from Breda, they are also available and do a presentation where you can subscribe already and start working out in the gym right away. Maybe it's good to finalize this Q&A with some advice from you as an international student to all other international students watching right now. Yep. Is there like a tip you want to give them?
Yeah, well, first of all, just get informed. Do your research properly, read everything that's displayed on the website. And as a practical advice, I would just say try to get a bike as soon as you can, because many students choose to just bike all over the city instead of using public transport, which is very convenient. You can get anywhere in the city in about 20 to 30 minutes at most.
So where did you get your bike?
I got my bike from SwapFeeds. Basically, it's a monthly paid service that students can choose if they want to get just a basic bike. That's about 16 euros per month, I believe. Or if they want a fancier bike with nicer brakes and stuff, which is about 20 euros per month. And if it gets stolen or if it breaks down, you can just call the service and they bring you a new bike on the spot, actually.
It's very convenient.
Yep.
Wow. I think I have a tip for international students as well. I think starting with the same as you said, do your research, start on time with searching for housing, for example, and really be present at the international kickoff, because that's where you can also find all the information. And for now, the pre-study portal is really, really useful before coming to Breda. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in September.